All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. My mic decided that it was going to do weird things, so give me a quick second. All right, there we go. Hopefully you all can hear me now. Yeah, so that was weird. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Nightbot. Good morning, Kim. Uh, Good morning to all of you out there in Lurker Land. This is the page that we're going to be coloring today. I think we're going to start on, which side should we start on? This side or this side? Hello, Noelle. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have my phone in here with me, and of course, as soon as I start doing things, it starts sending me messages. I don't usually keep my phone in here, but I forgot to take it out, but that's fine. If it goes off, I'm sorry. Um, oh, you've got fresh coffee? Can you bring me some? Because I think I'm about to run out. I sound a little quiet. Is that better? I like both sides too, Kim. Hello, Nessa. All right, I think we're going to start on this side just because it's not as busy, if that makes sense. So I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to go this way. There we go. So we're going to start on this side, and I think we're going to start, let's start at the top and work our way down. So we gotta go this way. There we go. So we're going to start up here at the top, and then we're going to work our way down on the border here. All right, so now we are using the Art Pop colored pencils, and this set is the set that I reviewed last night. So if you haven't seen the review, take a look at the review. Just going to grab a couple of pinks for this flower. That's good. I'm glad the sound is better. All right, I'm going to sharpen these. I hope everybody had a good week. It's been, typical busy working week, but, hopefully everybody else has had a good week. I have a work function this afternoon, so I might end stream a little bit early so that I can get ready for that. Now I'm using magenta first. And these are a layering pencil. You can squash them a little bit, but you end up with a really hard line if you do. You start back on Monday. Ooh. You got all your school shopping and everything done? How's the kid with the idea of going back to school? Yeah, you have training and meetings, but that is a fast summer, absolutely. Yeah, we have a company function for my job today that we're going to this afternoon. Oh, nice. Next year, this coming year, he'll be able to drive himself to work and school and on dates. That's scary. Yep. By October, he'll be out there driving around in the snow. That's a whole new learning experience there. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Driving around with a girlfriend. For most teenage boys, that's the epitome of making it there, learning how to drive, being able to go on dates and that without a chaperone and without a chauffeur. Independence. Nice. Just getting that color in there. I think that's where I want the shadows to be. And then this one here, we're just going to extend. This one is just pink. I prefer the Caran d'Ache for most things. Some of the harder pencils, I do like the Derwent blender. But those are usually the only two I use is the Derwent and the Caran d'Ache. The Lyra blender is a good blender as well, but it is one of those ones that you have to put a lot of pigment on the paper because it will lift a lot of pigment. I don't like the Prisma blender. It's not at all a blender, it's a scratcher. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Dawn. Yes, Prisma blender is just it's a scratcher. It's not a blender. I have never been able to blend anything with it. My go-to though is blending with the color. Um, I do prefer to do that. If I can get all of the white spot out without using a blender, I'd rather do that, but that is a lot more difficult to do with some papers especially, because sometimes you don't want the color to be extremely saturated, but you want that white spot to be removed because it makes it look choppy. Sometimes you want the white spot to be there. You know, embrace the white some days, but some days I just don't want it to be there. All right, now we're just going to use this one. Maybe. Deciding. Do I want to use the light salmon? Yeah. I'm going to use light salmon for the center area of the highlight area of the flower. Hello, Gia. Welcome, welcome. There goes the choo-choo. I need that pink. If you are a one and done person, these pencils are not for you. One layer is not going to give you a great amount of, I'm going to zoom it in. No, zoom it in. Because we're a really small area here. There, that's better. The layers to build that color and the progression of the colors, you do have to make sure that you fill those layers in. So if you are one that's just going to put down a heavy layer and move on to the next layer and build the color that way, which is perfectly fine. A lot of people do color that way and it's fantastic, but these pencils aren't great for that. Oh, that's interesting. I keep on forgetting to post. I'm terrible. It's like, why am I forgetting to, take pictures and post these things? I have all the pictures that I finished last month, and I haven't posted them yet. I have done them. I just haven't posted them. I do have to finish the background on the one that we finished last weekend. There, that's the way you want it. All right. I did not. I'll have to look that up. What are they being renamed as? Des Art. Okay. That's interesting. Did they lose the um, contract with Charisma? Yeah, I've been getting a lot of odd reposts um, where I'll see somebody post something and then I'll see it reposted somewhere. I wonder if Instagram is doing it themselves after you hit a like on it or something. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, they may have lost the contract um, to hold that name. If they don't have the contract to hold the name, then they need to rebrand. Or they were branding without permission, which I know they had a contract to use the formula. I could have swore that when I did the research, they had the contract to use the name as well. But yeah, if they've lost the contract, then they have to yeah. So yeah, they've lost the contract. So they've had to rebrand. Good to know. At least I know where to purchase them from when they rebrand. Not like I need any more pencils, but you know. So the three colors that I'm using on this flower are the magenta, pink, and light salmon. Now the paper in this book is quite smooth, but these are layering. They are building the color. It is just taking a little bit longer than some of the other colored pencils I use. Wow. Well, I do hope that you stay out of the hospital this year, Kenny. You're not allowed to be in the hospital 3 months again. That worries people. I am glad to hear that you're feeling better with it, though, that you haven't been in there this year. We don't like it when Kenny's sick. We get worried about you, and then we have to go hunt you down. Well, we let Shannon go hunt you down. Shannon always knows because Shannon cares. She's so cute. All right. Oh, sorry. Ended up pushing the book upwards. Yes, it'd be great to be healthy. It would be fantastic if everyone was completely healthy, happy. There we go. All right. I'm at the very top of the book, so you end up with my ring light blaring in your face. All right, now we're going to do the leaf. So this is where those lovely greens come in. So we're going to go with this one and this one and green, green. Okay. So these three. Yes, it's the very first part I've started. I've colored a flower. Well, not even the full flower because I got to do the center area too and the leaf. So we're going to do the leaf because I want to do the center area and I haven't quite figured out the best way to do it yet. All right, let's start with the dark. Hello, Shannon. I am speaking of you because you are fantastic and wonderful and always in the know because you care about people and care about your friends and care about what's going on around you. I am going to ruin Shannon's reputation. You were digging through boxes. Are you still working on things in the garage and attic and basement stuff? I don't know if you have basements, but storage stuff. That's the word I was looking for. Hello, Larissa. Oh, yeah, COVID is no fun. I don't want it. Don't give it to me. Excuse me. I just breathed the wrong way. So I'm using green, which is a dark green, a darker color. And then spring green. And then for the highlight, celery. And we're using that to blend as well. There we go. There is our leaf color, and we'll be using that as we move down as well. Well, Shannon, you are the sweetest, and we love you, whether you like it or not. All right, so I'm going to use orange red, carrot, and goldenrod for the center of the flower. Now I'm going to move my sharpener over here. It's going to wiggle the camera a little bit, but hopefully not too bad. Hello, Mona. Good morning, darling. Yeah, that's the one thing about working in the office is the germs that go around. And I don't have any more sick days left, so yeah. All right, so we're going to start with the orange red. We're going to color in all of these little spots of pollen stuff here. No, no, I use my own computer. I have my own headset. I have my own mic, all that sort of stuff. I don't use an actual phone like we used to. It is a computer, and I have my own. I don't. Nobody else uses mine. They're um, the logins are specific to the computer, so nobody else has my login, thankfully. But we have a new class coming in September that should pretty much fill the center. So yeah, when you work in a clinic like Larissa does, everything's germy. All right, so there is our center. So I used the orange, red, carrot, and then the goldenrod over top. And we're going to do those there. Then we're going to do the greens. Now for these really small leaves, I'm just going to do spring green. And celery. Yeah, it's taken me half an hour to color a flower. And then spring green and green. And I'm just going to blend it with the lighter celery. All right, now for these little flowers here, we're going to do those in purple. So we want a blue purple, so we're going to go with iris, light purple, and purple. All right. Oh dear. Hello, Bella Stella. I am so sorry I missed you coming in. Well, I don't think there's anything that Kenny could do to anybody. I think Kenny is one of those people that actually, stays out of trouble. Y'all are sitting in the corner together again, are you? Now these flowers here are nondescript. They're just there, so I'm just going to put little shadows around the edges and hopefully not cover everything with my hand. The ones in the very back will put a little more shadow in. Yeah, that's the best thing is figuring these things out because we are nosy. It is just a part of being a community. We get nosy. All right. Okay, so that's the start of them. And then we're going to go from the purple to the iris. Yes, Kenny is one of the kindest ever. Kenny's always been very sweet. And so is Mona. And the entire community is usually quite lovely. There's the odd ducks every once in a while, but we tolerate them, we move on. But the entire community is just lovely, so. Well, it's a good thing you guys have snacks and coffee. I'm just saying. I bring you specific special donuts for that. There's a donut shop in Albany that only opens first thing in the morning, and they're only open for a couple of hours because they sell out within an hour or two of being open. Alex knows the donut shop I'm talking about. Yes, for the most part, everybody is absolutely beautiful people. There are, the odd ones that we have to deal with, but I, I try to make sure that I can at least lurk in everybody's streams, but I have been so tired this week. I don't know what's wrong with me. I normally get up and I'm awake and I can get dressed and ready for work and I'm not dragging myself around. But all this week, I get up with my alarm like I normally do, go sit down on the couch, drink my coffee, and fall asleep. And then next thing I know, it's 5 minutes before 5 and I need to be out the door. And I'm not dressed yet. So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on with me. One of these days I'll go to one of those things that one of those people that likes to practice their job and see what they say and sit there obediently going, uh-huh, uh-huh, as they tell me I'm imagining things. uh, well, sometimes, especially with animals, they can read the room and they sit there going, we don't like you. Go away. You're not nice. You're just here to be a jerk. Small leaves, I'm working with spring green. Lurk away, Nessa. Hello, darling. As we get into the bigger leaves, I'll start using the darker green too. How many books are you up to now, Alex? Are you beating last year or are you on par for last year? Or the year before, I mean. I guess it was the year before. Last year was a little messed up because of the move. 59. Getting up there. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. Having goals and making those goals and exceeding those goals is always a good thing. Okay, now I'm going to take that dark green. Yeah, I have noticed that if I hold a book too long or a Kindle or a tablet or anything like that long enough to actually read, my hand cramps. So I have to prop it up, and that gets to be a pain. Yeah, and if I read a lot, I probably would. I used to read all the time, but I don't read as much as I used to. All right. Just blending that color into the yellow green color. We want the far edge that's closest to the sun there to be lighter. Okay, there we have those leaves. Now we're going to do the little spots there. So we're going to take this one here, which is puce, puce, puce. Okay, well, enjoy your pizza. Ah, we bored yet? We've got a corner colored in 48 minutes. Sometimes I wish I could just, think about it and it's colored. I don't like fiddly things, but this page does have a couple of them, but it doesn't have a whole lot of them, so I'll tolerate. All right, now there's a line of them here that I left half of it open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the goldenrod and we're going to add that sunshine onto it. Because that sun is going to be hitting those areas. So we just want them to be a little bit brighter in that area. There we go. All right. And then we got more leaves. Okay. So I'm using green. Now I did find these pencils on Amazon. However, they are more expensive on Amazon than they are on Blick's website. So on Amazon they run about $44, where on Blick's website they're $39. I did post the link for the Amazon underneath the video, but if you have the availability to purchase from Blick instead, you'll save a couple of bucks at least. I don't know what their shipping level is though, so that might be something to look at as well if they require a certain amount purchased to get shipping free. I haven't bought from the Blick website in a long time, so I don't know. The Art Pop, it's a Blick brand. It's a brand that they usually that has come out with in the Blick stores. They say that it's one of their um, store brands, I guess is the word. They do have all sorts of products, not just pencils. They've got markers and paint and paper and things like that, acrylics. Okay. Now I'm using the spring green. And I'm coloring the whole area, and then I'll come back through. I'm putting a light layer on the whole area. I'm going to come back through with the celery and put in the brighter color over top and use it to blend. Hello, Joyce. Welcome, welcome. And I must say thank you so much for everybody out there in Lurker Land for hanging out and listening to me ramble. I appreciate y'all being there. There's a lot of leaves in this area. I think that's pretty much all of the leaves though is this area here. So getting that done and out of the way is always a good thing. Alright, and now I want to use a little bit of a different green for these ones here. So I'm going to grab the I'm going to grab the hunter green. Oop, let's just throw those any old where. And then we're going to use this one and this one. So we're going to use hunter green, yellow green, and olive green for these leaves here that are attached to the cherry branches. All right, going to start off with the hunter green. And put the shadows in. I don't have a Kindle, so not anymore anyway. It died. So just going through, putting in that darker area here. Okay, so that's that branch. Yeah. All right. And then we're going to come in with the olive. Now hopefully this will do what I want it to. So let's try it. Oh, nice, Gia. Yeah, that's what I wanted it to do. Good. Now I'm going over the olive with the yellow green, which is giving me that brighter green color, which I kind of wanted it to do. I'm going to come back with the olive and dull down certain areas, make them a little bit darker. Same with the hunter green. There we go. All right. Yeah, Kindles have been out for a while. When I was in college, they had just started coming out with the Kindle Paperwhite. And those were great because I could just get my books on that and I could take them to school with me and read while I was on break. I think the Paperwhite's been out a little bit longer than that. Yeah, the Black Friday sales usually has them. 2012 for the paperweights? No, that's the paper white. So the one that I had was like this little tiny thing that was like about the size of a cell phone. Maybe it wasn't a Kindle. And it all it could do was read books on it. I don't remember what it was called. It was quite small. No. Well, maybe. I don't think it would have been an iPod because that would have been expensive and I didn't have the money for that. I don't know. All I know is that my mom got it for me for when I started college as a present. Yeah, yeah, you have to pay attention to the pricing and the shipping because sometimes they trick you thinking it's a really good price and then you get the shipping on it and it's more than any of the others that have no shipping cost. Hello, Angela, how are you? Yeah, Mom didn't have a lot of money, so it would have been probably just a lesser expensive brand, but it was cool. I could download, I think it was 4 books to it. Welcome back. How was the pizza? Hello, Mandy. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing well, thank you. Nice, Joyce. I used to pass them down to the kids, but I got to a point where they had the newer ones and they passed them down to me and I never used them. They had they I think it was a Kindle. I don't know. They got it from when we got cell phones in the States. They were offering them for free and the kids said they wanted them, so. All right, now we're going to do the cherries. So we're going to grab the red and mulberry. And a little bit of yellow, I think. Space timber. Sounds interesting. Alright, going to start with the dark red color here. So this is mulberry. Oh, nice, Kim. What color? And hi, Kim. I didn't say hi when you came in. What color is the bathroom going to be, Kim? Because inquiring minds want to know, and I'm nosy. Relaxed khaki. And red. And then we're going to take that goldenrod. And work it into the red. Same here. Take care, Dawn. Alright, and then we're going to add that yellow. So, hello, Bella. Thank you. A little bit darker in here. I think I want this a little darker here as well. Didn't know who's calling me, but they can leave a message. Okay, so they don't give up easily. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'll be right back. So this person is very persistent. Oh, okay. It was my cousin. I will call him back after stream. Okay. Then we're going to take that yellow. I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the edge. Alright guys, hold on a second. I gotta answer this. My cousin is being very, very, very persistent. So I'm just gonna put you on hold for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. He was being very persistent, and when my cousin gets very persistent with his calls, there's an emergency, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't life and death type of thing. So, yeah, the where he lives, there's a huge wildfire that is coming awfully close to them. So, he wanted to let me know that everybody was okay out there, but they might be evacuating soon. So. I will give him a call back after stream and get all the deets on it. Nope, nope, I'm still here. I had to answer because, usually if I don't answer, he'll wait until I call him back, but because he immediately hung up and called right back, I figured, okay, I better answer that and see what's going on. Family first, right? Yeah, it's right down at the marina that we used to hang out in when we were kids, so Cherry Creek, so it's fairly close to him. It's far enough away that he's still safe, but if he can get out of there, I'd rather he do that. He's not a spring chicken no more. I just told him no playing in the fire and get safe when you need to. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you. So I'm using hunter green, olive, and yellow green on these leaves. The further in the leaf, the darker it's going to be, so the less of the yellow green that I'll use. And the more of the hunter green and the olive. Exactly. That's my point as well, Larissa. It's like if you can get out of there, get out of there. Go down to the mainland and go down further into the island and go visit mom or something. But because his stepmom lives out in um, Victoria, so it's further down the island, no fires there, that sort of thing. I'd rather him be safe than sorry, but I will chastise him for that afterwards. But yeah, he says that they're doing okay, so it's just a lot of smoke and his breathing and everything else isn't all that great. So I worry about him and his wife with their health issues and the smoke. So hopefully they'll be okay. All right, I put a little bit of that yellow in here. And we're going to move up to this one. Yeah, the smoke is the worst part of it that I worry about, especially with those two, because they are they have health issues, and when you end up with health issues and breathing issues on top of it, it can be scary. So I will call him back when we're on the way to the barbecue, or while I'm getting my hair done, because I gotta do my hair. And I am going to go after I finish the cherry bundle here. Um, I know we haven't gotten a whole lot done, but I do have to go get my hair done, or do my hair, because I'm not going out to get it done. I'm going to do it myself. But I need to do my hair, you know, call my cousin back, make sure everybody there is fine, and call my dad and remind him that he's too old to be going down to the island to fight fires, because if I don't, he will. Yes, I'm using the Art Pop. I did a review on them yet last night. They are a pencil from Blick. It's one of their store pencils. So the brand is one of the Blick's store brands. Yes, so Blick has a better price than Amazon. Um, I didn't get the Blick link posted. I did post for Amazon, but if you have an ability to purchase from Blick, do look at their shipping costs. If the cost of the pencils with shipping is more than $44, buy them from Amazon, because Amazon without shipping is only $44 for them. Otherwise, purchase them from Blick. Blick does package their stuff really well to make sure that everything is safe and secure. So, yeah, I gotta. And it started to grow back since I cut it, because I cut it in January, after I finished the training part of my job. And I cut it in January, and it's already back down to almost where it was before I cut it. So if I hadn't have cut it, it would have been much longer. I didn't cut it very much though. As I get older, my hair it is starting to get thinner. It used to be so much thicker, but it's still just as long. But it has gotten thinner. Yeah. Yeah, it's still thick. It's just a lot thinner than it used to be. All right. One more leaf to go, and then we'll do the cherries, and then we'll be done for the day, I think. What do you guys think? So far, in the different color combinations that I've done, the pencils are layering really well. They are giving me a consistent level of color. I don't have a lot of splotchiness, you know, when you color with a pencil, and if there's different levels of pigment and variations in the pencil itself, you can end up with little splotchy areas. I'm not getting that from these, so they are definitely a lighter hand layering pencil. You know, they're not going to be that one and done pencil. You're going to have to build that color up. All right. Okay, now back to the cherries. I'm going to start with that. Oh, choo-choo. So we're starting with the mulberry. Move it over a little bit so you guys can see. Now I want this one to be darker because it's not hitting as much of that sunshine. This one here is going to have more sunshine than this one because of the leaf that's in front of it. So we're going to do this one much darker using just the mulberry and the red. And then we'll put in a little bit of white gel pen later on for a small bit of reflection, because there is still light in the with cherries and things like that. They are shiny, so we are going to put that shine in there. And then this one here. Thank you, Alex. And we're going to put a little bit of yellow there. in there. All right. Yeah, Alex has really awesome curls. Okay, so this one here has more light outside of it, so we're going to make sure that that gets that light on the edges. Yeah, I used to want ringlet curly hair when I was a kid. As I got older and realized how much work that was, I didn't want it so much anymore. All right. Again, this one here, the sun is hitting that top area, so we'll be adding that yellow to that top area. Then this one is quite far back and isn't going to get hit with a lot of sun because of everything over top of it. So this one is going to be dark like this one. Of course, the darkest shadows in the edges because it is rounded. And we want it to come into that center line, keeping it nice and round. My mom used to use Sun In a lot, and I know they still make it. She does not use it anymore. just a little bit of that yellow in for the ripeness factor there. Make that one look a little less ripe. All right. And there we have it so far. I'm going to zoom you out so you can actually see what we've worked on. Actually move it down. There we go. So there it is so far. We'll finish up the vines and then we'll start moving down through the mountain areas here and then work our way into the water and into the next picture. But that is the start of what we have started here. This page is going to take a little bit longer than our normal pages because we are going to do both of these pages because it is a two-page spread. So we'll continue this throughout the rest of the month and hopefully we'll be able to get it done. Yeah, peroxide is not the greatest thing for hair. But I think the pencils did quite well. Like I said, they are a little bit harder on the laydown, so they are definitely a layering pencil. But they did blend well and they did well on Rita Berman's paper. So I think so far they are going to be, they're going to work well for us. Tomorrow I will be back at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and we will continue on with more of the page here. And then, like I said, we'll continue this on through the rest of the month. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I know I'm a little bit early, but I do got to go and get things done. I do hope that you all have a absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artists that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.